life is like the gym. You go there and you go through pain and you become better. You become more physically fit. You become healthier if you make that decision to do that. But if you're like, now you're going through life. Life is like the gym. Life, you go through struggles. You go through pain. How are you going through the pain though? Do you become bitter and mad and angry and stay stuck in one place? Or do you handle that? Do you apologize? Do you forgive? Do you hear the other person's story? Like that's what like life is. You're lifting weights. Like, to say you're sorry for the first time to somebody, it's like lifting a 5-pound weight. But then you get better at saying you're sorry when you're wrong and you're lifting like 50 pounds. It's like there's a direct correlation to what I'm trying to say with the gym and life. Life is like the gym. It's like you're going to go through things.
Every step feels like a mountain climb. No handouts, just a grind of time. Street lights flicker, the night runs cold, but the city's...
So growing up in the 90s, 80s, 90s, and I know I kind of keep going back to that sometimes in the videos, but it kind of paints a picture for you where people can go right or go really wrong in life. And growing up in the 90s, I seen a lot of people that I looked up to, and I never, which is kind of sad, I loved my parents, but I never looked up to them, and I feel that's where most kids are today. The younger generation, every generation has a period where they're growing up, and they don't really necessarily look towards their parents as someone they can look up to, like a mentor. Excuse me. And but sometimes people have great parents and great moms, great dads, and then there's people that don't have moms and dads, and I feel that's a struggle, and I feel for those people because they don't have anybody to look to for like advice or just to be listened to, and that's where they go wrong, because then they'll look up to someone that is not necessarily great for them, like a singer, whatever, pop star, rapper, movie star that has really bad points of views in life, and it's just about money. A lot of YouTubers are like that. It's about like the views and how many likes you got. Look how many subscribers I have. Like, it's just, that doesn't mean nothing. It doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean you're a good person. It doesn't mean you're a good quality person and you're giving good advice to kids that are watching your show. Like, you're just telling people, yeah, eat a Tide Pod challenge. Like, what is wrong with people? Like, the challenges and the fake nonsense that people put up just so they can get views on them to become popular and then take money from people. I'm talking about, like, when I was growing up, there was people in my neighborhood that I looked up to that were good people. They're always the first ones to lend a helping hand. But my parents, they were great people, but they had a lot of issues, a lot of problems. And when you're younger and you're growing up poor, I feel like you think everything is about money, because I see the outside world and people are making money. You think that's the goal. When you're younger, you don't know. So you're like, that's the goal. That's the goal, to be rich and buy my mom and dad a house or a car or whatever. So growing up, I didn't look to them as, as a mentor. I mean, I thought my mom and dad were cool. My mom always, she was like the one person that I always went to. So maybe she was a mentor in a way, and maybe at the time, because I was younger and we always bumped heads and we were fighting a lot because we didn't see eye to eye or something. Or most of the time I was a kid, so I was doing something wrong. I know for sure I was doing something wrong. But I think it's like there has to be someone in your life that you look up to that gives you the right information. And my mom did steer me in the right direction a lot. As soon as I got more like older, like my teens, when I started really listening to her instead of, just me being a kid and getting in trouble. My dad was a great guitar player and an artist, and I looked up to him for certain things, but I also seen them struggling, and I didn't want to be them, because we were always barely making it. And it's not a bad thing. It's just the way it is. And, sometimes it happens. But it was the people outside of my family. One friend, his name was John Gasper. He was great. I mean, he don't even realize it, but he was like a mentor, and we were only like 7, 8 years old, but he was like this kid that was always hustling. We were always doing something together. And it wasn't me. I wasn't the leader. He was the leader. He would just come. We were good friends at the time, and he just came and knocked for me. If you understand what that means, he like knocked on the door of the house that I lived in, because most kids don't know what that means. They just text everybody and I'm on my way and I'm outside. Like, they don't know what knocking on a door is and having company stop by. That's old. That's gone. That's really gone. I haven't had that in a long time. I remember my mom used to sit in the kitchen and wait for people. Sometimes they would call and say, yeah, I might be by Thursday. And then it's like, you hear that knock on the door and you're like, oh, company's here. So Sebastian Maniscalco said it best. It's like, we don't experience that no more. Like, we don't have that person stop by their house unannounced and we hang out for hours and talk about things. That's gone. Like, that was a fun time for me anyway. So now I gotta get back to where I was talking about. What was I talking about? Yeah, so John, my friend John, would come by, knock on the door, come get me, and then he would show me like how to make money. Like, he would sell pretzels, fireworks, anything he could think of. He was always making money, and I would help him, and I would get a little bit of the cut sometimes, whatever. But like, he don't even realize that was like, he was showing me how to be my own person. And it was from that day on, watching him be like a 9-year-old, 10-year-old entrepreneur, it was cool because I didn't know it, but subconsciously I was starting to learn to be who I was. So I was mimicking the friends around me, and it kind of made me who I am. But then when I got into like high school and the pizza place that I worked at, all the guys there, Angelo, Donato, Pete, Tony, Carmen, John, Louie, like all these people, you know, they molded who I was because I was with them so many hours a week. Like, it was crazy. They were my family basically too. But I remember watching like the owners, like Pete and Tony and Donato, and they would every Friday they would be counting the money in the office and paying everybody. And it was like so good to have cash in your hand as a young kid, because being poor and broke, you're just like, it's tough. It's really tough. But I seen them, and something in me was like, I looked at them as mentors. Like, they didn't ever taught me anything. Like, they never, I mean, well, yeah, they did in a way. Like, you know, my one friend Donato, he taught me how to drive a stick. And, you know, Pete and Tony did teach me some things, but I don't think they really taught me by watching them. I watched how they act. I watched how they run business. I watched how they treated people. And I was like, I want to be that guy. I want to be that guy later on in life. Even though I made a million mistakes when I was younger, like starting my business, getting out of high school, I still had a lot of things that I had to deal with that I never dealt with, like, you know, talking about trauma or whatever happened to me. But the pizza place was the real beginning where I started seeing, like, I want to have my own business. I want to do this. I want to do that. I remember that. And it was great because I would say a couple years back, I ran into my old boss from the pizza store, Pete. He was at another pizza shop and he runs with his friend. And it was right around my neighborhood up here in the Northeast. And I went and visited him, and he didn't even realize who I was. I came in, and it was crazy. I was like, do you remember who I am? And he laughed. He's like, nah. He's like, you look familiar, but I mean, you got to think, this is like 30-something years. Like, he hasn't seen me in all this time. And I said, Pete, I said, it's me. I said, I worked at the Pie Factory, the pizza place with you. And he was like, oh my gosh. He's like, it's crazy. He's like, that's great. He's like, how you been? And we started exchanging stories and stuff. And like, I was telling him what I do for a living and, doing the artwork and painting and everything. And he was like, man, he's like, that's awesome that you did that. He goes, look at me. I'm still a pizza guy. I said, I wouldn't say like, just look at you like you're just ordinary. I said, because you understand. I was like, I am who I am because of you. Because of watching you guys, I followed something that I had inside of me because of you. So it's like, just look at that. Like, people don't even realize. That's why I said you got to be careful what you say to people and how you influence people. if you're negative, if you're a negative person, you're influence people in the wrong way, like you should stop and be conscious and say, man, I got to stop doing this. I got to show kids how to do the right thing. Like, do the right thing. You're going to make mistakes in front of people, but man, the impact that dude had on me and my life, he doesn't even realize it. The reason why I'm here today is because of these people in the past that have influenced me. I didn't even realize that they were my mentors until, like, you know, midway through, when I started really experiencing hardship in my life, and I started questioning my own life and going, what am I doing here? Like, what is all this about? What is life even about that we're doing all this? But it was a great time to connect with Pete and say, and like almost thank him, like, thank you for being who you were, because it made me a better person. So I would suggest, like, you know, when you're growing up, especially now, like, I hope kids listen to these videos, and I hope they can listen, because no one can listen for more than 5 minutes to anything. I don't even think a minute. I'll talk to some people and they're just like, it's like, what is it, a goldfish? It's like you're talking to a goldfish, 3 seconds, and they're just there, over there. They don't even pay attention. This is the problem with listening and comprehending. You got to listen to what I'm saying in these videos and take it all in. Don't take one small piece and go, yeah, I feel good about that spot. Take it all in and understand what I'm trying to project here. I'm trying to help people start doing normal and right things towards other human beings. But I would say to, like, people listening to this, like, if it would be me or if it would be someone else, it's got to be someone that you connect with, of course, like the voice. There's a lot of YouTubers out there that are just very fake. They're very polished. They're very edited, and it doesn't help anyone. And I'm not knocking those people that are saying that. I'm sure they're trying to definitely help someone. I'm not saying that they're not. But some of them are out to like really just be this group of people that all say the same thing. You know, wake up every day, make your bed, run 70 miles on 2 broken ankles, and, you know, you're going to change the world. We ain't all doing that. Listen, I make my bed every morning too, but I also like to sleep a little bit. So I'm not going to wake up at 4 o'clock. I'm not going to wake up at 2:30 or 3 o'clock like The Rock and Mark Wahlberg. I was going to call him Marky Mark. That's showing my age. Mark Wahlberg. Like, I'm not doing that. You had the money to do that. You had the resources to do that. I'm going to wake up at 6:30, maybe 7, and float around a little bit before I feel comfortable to do anything. So that doesn't mean I'm not successful in my life. That doesn't mean it stops me from being a good person to people. It just means that everybody has their own thing. So a lot of these YouTubers and mentors that are out there, they're trying to tell you, and listen, I'm not knocking them. Some of them do what they do. You get in a cold shower at 7 in the morning, more power to you. I'm not doing it. I'm still going to take a hot shower because it feels better. I don't want to be woke up like that. So, but some of these people, if they're doing it or not, that's great. If it works for you, it works for you. But not everybody has their own schedule and their own thing. Some people are taking care of 6 kids. Some people are not taking care of 6 kids. Like, you got to understand, like, what your information does. My information is for people to just be better, no matter what life you live. You could be a real estate agent. You know, you could be somebody that's doing mad money on the stock market. You could be a stay-at-home mom or dad that's taking care of kids. But that shouldn't change who you are as a person. That's where I was like saying, if you're getting a mentor, if you have a mentor, if you have following somebody, that they should change who you are. Not just talking about, you know, getting a schedule, making money, because that's not what life is really about. To me, it's not. It's really not anymore. It's just you thought it was, like I thought it was. But as things started to change, and, like, you know, your mom passes away or someone passes away when you're young, like watching all these things unfold and happen, you start to see the real value in life. This is why when people are older on their deathbed, they're kind of like, you know, call this one up. I want to say I'm sorry to this one, or, you know, they're trying to put things back together because they know deep down inside something's coming after they die. It's not just everybody. It's not like everybody gets into this club after you die and you're just like, everybody's happy and floating around. That's not what it is. I mean, there is a point, there's a part of it. There's a part of that there's, you know, no more suffering and all that stuff. But what I mean is we do so much bad stuff here And then we just think that we get a hall pass for it or a pass on it at the end of our life if we just kind of half-ass make up to everybody or do stuff. You should genuinely change your life now. That's why, like, finding a mentor or finding someone that gives you good information, that's why I always said, like, when you look at YouTube and a lot of people are giving you information, but it's not necessarily the right information, or they're trying to give you motivation. Let's say, like, you go to the gym. I always told you, or I didn't tell you this, but some of the people I deal with and my friends, I say, you know, life is like the gym. You go there and you go through pain and you become better. You become more physically fit. You become healthier if you make that decision to do that. But if you're like, you know, now you're going through life. Life is like the gym. Life, you go through struggles. You go through pain. How are you going through the pain, though? Do you become bitter and mad and angry and stay stuck in one place? Or do you handle that? Do you apologize? Do you forgive? Do you hear the other person's story? Like, that's what like life is. You're lifting weights. Like, you know, to say you're sorry for the first time to somebody, it's like lifting a 5-pound weight. But then you get better at saying you're sorry when you know you're wrong and you're lifting like 50 pounds. It's like there is a direct correlation to what I'm trying to say with the gym and life. Life is like the gym. It's like you're going to go through things. And sometimes when you're going through things, you need mentors. You need people that you can rely on. I have mentors. I have mentors that I gotta look up the name, but I have mentors that are like on YouTube that don't even know who I am. And then I got mentors that are like people like some of my best friends, Johnny Lightning. He don't realize it. Yeah, we're friends, but we're like, you know, we like mentor each other. Like when I'm down, he helps me out. It's like I'm not the only person just giving you good information, but there's other people that give me good information. And it changes my mindset. My friend Rob, my good friend Rob, I talk to him almost every other day. We always text each other, you know, and we help each other through things. And that's the thing. It's like, you know, my friend Rob, he's a mentor to me. He don't even realize it. But when I talk to him, I get a different perspective. But it's always a positive perspective. It's not a sugar-coated perspective like, oh, everything's going to be all right. Like, I know, of course, when you're friends, you're going to stick up for each other. But what I mean is like, he helps me when I'm down and I help him when he's down. So that's the support group that you really need. That's what a mentor is to me. A mentor is someone that's doing the right thing and not saying to you, do something good, and then they're doing the totally opposite. That's what I'm trying to say. But there was people that I look up, like even coming up when I was younger, like doing business, I had a lot of bad mentors. And it showed me what not to do, like with business. I had a lot of people in my ear, like telling me, you know, do this, do that. And I've made a lot of mistakes because I had bad mentors, like bad people in my life telling me, oh, you know, you should do this, do that. And what happened was I lost big time. I lost friendships over it. A lot of mistakes you can make if you're not really paying attention. But if you're paying attention, let me see if I can find this name. But I'll tell you right now, one of the people that I love to listen to, and he helps me a lot, and he helped me years ago, was Bedros Keuilian, and I hope I'm saying his name right. But yeah, Bedros, and there was another guy in California, if I can find it. And you would think, but this is the problem. Sometimes when you get older, you have a bad memory. You would think if he was such a great mentor, Fred, you would remember his name. That's pretty messed up. But let me see. Where's it at? But it's like I deal with so many people every day, and I deal with so many names that you kind of just forget. So, but let me see. Why doesn't it have it? Of course. Why would it have? Oh, there you go. Rock Church. So Rock Church in California, Miles McPherson. I hope I'm saying his right too. But like Miles was one of the guys that, yeah, he's a pastor and he runs a church. And like I said before, it's not about religion. But when I'm saying he's not religious, he actually brought me back because for some time I was not really mad. Maybe I was mad at God, but I was more mad at the people representing God who were supposed to be the church people and they're supposed to help you. And they didn't. They let me fall to the wayside. And I have a lot of stories about some churches I won't say now, but I will tell eventually. And if they ever watch me, they'll know I'm talking about them, because they really did me dirty in the sense that they didn't treat me like a human being. They treated me like a group member. Like, they only treat the members good. So it's like, I feel that Miles McPherson, he brought me back to being right-minded and human. And it wasn't totally about just going through the motions and doing things. That's hard to explain, but if you look up church, Rock Church, and look up Miles McPherson, he's someone that is real. Like, he's a real guy. Like, he actually explains things, and he's really down to earth, and I liked him a lot, and I gravitated towards him for so many years. And of course, Jordan Peterson, I would love to have a conversation with him one day, because there's so many things you can talk about. And I know he's been through a lot. So is Bedros Keuilian. He's been through a lot. There's so many people that I'll probably from time to time say, this guy, that guy, but these are the people that I look up to, and they don't know it, but it's the way they're conducting their lives that makes me look up to them. And that's what I say to you. Like, everybody, you guys have mentors too. You don't even realize it. Like, I mean, when I want to laugh, I look up Theo Vaughn. I look up people that I look up to for comedic value. And it's like, it makes me a better person, because I imitate those people sometimes, because the more people you watch, I've noticed that through life, like mentors, my personality is based on me taking little pieces of the people that I know in my life. And I feel like that's a really good thing. It's, because now, excuse me, the problem is, as an entertainer or somebody, an entertainer, like, when I say entertainers, I mean like anybody, like especially musicians have such a powerful hold on the younger generation, and some of them might be right, but some of them are really wrong. And I've noticed that, especially, this new wave of rap, me being a hip hop person, to me, it's a totally different genre. It has nothing to do with rap. It has nothing to do with skill. And I'm sorry if you don't believe me on that, but we can go back and forth, and I'm going to win, because it's not about me being old and not understanding it. It's a totally different genre, and it shouldn't even be near rap. It's nothing to do with hip hop, but what they're saying and how they're saying it. Now, they might be coming from broken homes too, or whatever, but they're not good mentors for kids growing up in inner cities that have no parents, because this is what happens. As parents, you're already going head to head with the world, protecting your kid from outside sources telling your kids to do something wrong. And they don't care, because they're making money. You really think kids should be doing OnlyFans and looking to do sexual perverted things on camera for other people so they can make money? This is what I'm saying. Like, we're so lost as people in this world. We're just so lost thinking what's truth and what's wrong, like what's right and what's wrong. It's like, we all know truth. We all know what's right and wrong, but we're just accepting it. We're laying down and accepting it. But you got bad people out there, and they have a lot of views and a lot of likes and a lot of money. Kids without parents or good guidance, they're going to look up to them. So what happens is, if they're not saying the right things, those kids are going to be misled, and those kids are going to go out and cause violence, kill someone, shoot someone, steal, hold somebody up. Like, these are the things that are problems. Like, it's almost like you can't even blame some of these kids that are lost, because they almost like never had a chance. But what's the real problem? Is it like what we're all arguing about now on social media? Like, presidents, who's the best president, who's the best mayor, who's the best government official, who's this, who's that? No. It's like the stuff that we're putting visually in our face, and we're thinking it's supposed to be an adult thing. Like, the music that we put out there, I know the 90s was questionable, but I'm like, I didn't entertain that stuff. But there's people out there that have no good mentors or nobody to look up to, and they will look up to somebody with a lot of likes and a lot of views and a lot of money, and they're going to destroy their life. And that's what they want to do. That's what they set out to do. These production companies and all this stuff. So all I'm saying is if you're listening to this, be careful who you're listening to as a mentor. Find someone that you click with and do the right thing. Like, just start being a great person here now. That's what life is really about, is like finding a mentor and being on the right path. I mean, you can still do your job, you can still do artwork, you can still sing, but sing about good things. Do the right thing by people, by other human beings. Like, you're when you get to a certain point, you are liable for other people's people. I don't know how to say it. Now, I'm not trying to figure this out how I'm saying it. But like, you're liable for someone else's kids. So don't be putting bad things in someone else's heads. Like, even if it's a joke, I kind of get it, but it's still not right. You really have to think about that, you know? But I would say, you know, find some people in your life if you're starting over. Like, it doesn't matter what age you are, you can still turn your life around. You can still start doing the right thing. Find some people, always be around them. Make your group or circle of people good people. And the people that are not doing so well, still talk to them right. Like, still help them, and don't like, just because people ain't on your circle or your group, you don't ignore them. You still give them a good word or something. Like, still help them in any way. Unless they're just being sinister and evil and they're trying to hurt you, that's different. Then you got to distance yourself and you try to do the best you can. But I'm saying, like, people that are really in pain and hurting, you help them. You watch what you say, you're generous, you're caring, all those things. But yeah, all right, I hope this helps somebody, you know. But I'll just talk about, I'm always going to talk about the same thing. Like, not the same thing, but like the same thing about being human, but just in certain different ways, certain topics that come back to still being a great human. So just go out there and be great to somebody, and stop letting the phone and the visuals that you see dictate your mood and your anger. Stop watching those things. Scroll past it. Like, don't give this feed power over you. Be the great person that you always have been, but all the world has made you bottled up and you don't do anything with it, and you just stick to your friends. Be great to everybody every day. That's my advice to you. Until next time.